2:30 we got number 1 Georgia versus I'm used to saying number something because Florida is normally ranked. This is an unranked Florida team right now playing against the number 1 team in the country, not at home, and they're still only underdogs by 14 points. That is an insane thing to me. That's crazy. It's just crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but playing the number 1 team in the country, not at home, and only being the underdogs by 14 points is pretty crazy. Especially last time they played, it was pretty awful on CBS. Stetson, both of them coming off byes, right? Florida's coming off a loss before their bye. Georgia's coming off a pretty amazing win against Kentucky on their bye, right? Stetson Bennett went 14-20, threw for 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. James Cook had 6 carries for 51 yards on the ground, and Brock Bowers, their tight end, had 5 catches for 101 yards, 2 touchdowns against Kentucky. Kentucky defense that heading into that game was ranked 2nd in the country. Florida, on the other hand, coming off just a heartbreaking 2nd straight loss to LSU. It's just kind of, well, actually, it might be third. I'm thinking about 3rd straight loss to LSU because they lost when Joe Burrow was the quarterback. They lost last year somehow, and they've also lost this year somehow, despite LSU straight up not being a good football team this year. Florida's also not that. I would not describe them as a good football team either, though. Anthony Richardson went 10 of 19, threw for 167 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Also led the Green team in rushing with 7 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. Justin Shorter ended up being their leading receiver, which good for my guy coming from Penn State, transferring, ended up finding success in Florida. 6 catches for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. Last game went to Florida. I don't know if you remember that last year where they were able to beat Georgia because they were starting Stetson Bennett or whatever. By the way, Stetson Bennett's going to have his... this is his revenge game, right? I don't know if you remember this. Stetson Bennett last year played Florida in Jacksonville. He ended up kind of getting owned by the Florida defense a little bit. Georgia ended up losing that game significantly. Just a fact, the last game went to Florida, but 3 of the last 4 have gone to Georgia. Georgia's 52-44 against Florida all time, but it has been a rather close series. They've played extremely good games against each other. These are 2 of the better teams in the SEC. I think they're the West, but I'm not positive. Again, this is a weird year where Florida is not the 2nd best team in that side of the SEC. They're definitely the 3rd best, right? You don't really have much competitive for that. They've already beaten Tennessee this year, which would be their only real competition for that 3rd spot. It's just Florida. It's definitely... Regardless, Florida's going to play their best, right? But I just don't think their best is enough to beat the number 1 team in the country. Again, give me Georgia here despite still being out JT Daniels.